What's up, guys? Welcome to a new week. It's September now. Crazy, right? It's actually a couple days into September, but I just changed my calendar today. So it's Labor Day weekend. I just got done doing all of my pool maintenance for the weekend. Vacuumed, did the chemicals, refilled the water level. Everything looks like it's great. In good shape, good to go. It's a beautiful 84-degree day here. So let's see what we get into this week. Hey, how's it going? Oh, it is hot out here today. Oh my God, it's like, I think 85, 86 degrees out today. Woo, yikes. Let's check on the plants. Look at this guy. It's not doing too great, huh? Oh, that's, yeah, they feel heavy too, so it's not like it's not watered. He's just not happy. It's just too hot. Okay. Let's take a look over here at the rose bush. So, if you remember, I mentioned this way back earlier in the spring. This rose bush was completely chewed up by rabbits, and spent a couple months trying to get it to recover, but it's coming back and I'm getting some new rose buds, which is great. It's going to be really pretty. So I'm starting a painting project out here. I'm going to be staining my fence, which is right here. So I've never stained a fence before. I've painted inside the house, but I've never done anything outside the house. So last month, my neighbors moved. This fence was so old and in such bad shape. There were slats falling apart, broken, missing pieces. It was literally one windstorm away from the whole thing being knocked over. So when they were putting their house on the market, they wanted to fix the part of the fence that was not okay. So they put in some new panels in, but they only did this part and they didn't do the whole thing. That side was worse, and then they stained it on their side. So I'm going to stain it now on my side so that it looks a little bit more uniform and it's all one color and it'll blend in together instead of being so obvious that it's, you know, new fence versus old fence over here. So when they painted the fence, stained it, what have you, they chose this redwood color. A little bit of it kind of dripped over onto the side, as you can see, but I don't think I'm going to do the redwood color. I don't think I like that particularly. I'm going to choose something else. And like I said, I've never stained a fence before, I have painted inside the house. Can't be that different. So I'm going to go to the hardware store, get the stain, get some equipment that I need, whatever it is. I'm assuming I have to get something different. I'm not going to use like little paint brushes for this. This is like a junk pile. I refer to these little clutter piles I have around my yard as like my grandpa piles. It kind of reminds me of a kid. My grandfather's yard, he had all these different various clutter piles around his yard. And I remember being a teen and thinking, why does he have all this junk in his backyard? Like, why doesn't he just get rid of that stuff? And now that I have my own house, I understand how these clutter piles can kind of build up in your yard. And this is all stuff that needs to go out for the metal pickup. And then I have some yard waste that has to go in lawn bags. And today's a holiday, so we don't have trash pickup. It's delayed one day, and I've never had more trash in my life than I had this week. I don't know why, but like, I just have so much garbage to go out, and I had like a lot of stuff I needed to get rid of in the fridge, and I'm like, please let the trash come. Like, I can't wait to throw all this stuff out. So I will be getting rid of this. I did just check the temperature. It is 86 degrees out. Let's see. There we go. I have to like cover myself up from the sun. It's too much for me. It's so hot out. And there's like little gnats in the air and everything. I think I just felt one. It's hot. So, things I want to accomplish today. Go to the hardware store and get the things I need for the fence. It's supposed to be my running day today. I'm trying really hard to stick to my running schedule, which would mean that today is a running day, but it's so hot. When I woke up this morning, it was 65, 70 degrees. I probably should have gone then, but I didn't. So I don't think it's going to cool off this afternoon. I might still go. I really want to go. I don't want to not go. It is hot though. And then probably go in the pool later on after that. That'll be a good way to cool off and refresh. Actually, let's go take a look right now. See what it's looking like. I'll at least put my hand in. I don't have a thermometer anymore, so I definitely want to go in. Nice. So this is the color that I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure this is the one I want. Cape Cod gray. I think that will look nice. These are the redwood colors over here. And that's on the other side of the fence, but I think this is going to go a lot better in my yard. There seems to be some kind of summer clearance situation going on here. Big Green Egg Cookbook. I don't know what that is.
Pallets?
No, one pallet.
Oh, good. It's not snow shovels?
Never heard of it. Ooh, what is this now? That looks cool. See, I just love this. This is so fun. This is my idea of a fun time on a weekend. Come down here, grab a bunch of paint chips, and bring them home. I just need a tray. That's why I'm here. I just need the tray. Probably just get the cheapy aluminum one. It is fun to look at all this stuff though. Different brushes, brush sizes. Here's the outdoor ones. This is like when guys are on the online dating sites are like, so what do you like to do for fun? On a Saturday, come down to the hardware store and pick out paint chips for my fantasy kitchen paint project. Bring them home, spread them out on my dining room table. I can't really answer that, can I? That's not like the sexy, cute, playful little answer they're looking for. This is why I'm single. See, I do actually go in this thing. Ta-da! I made it to my run and made it in the pool, which is great. I didn't start the fence project today. It was just a little too hot and ran out of time. So I'll probably work on that tomorrow, maybe another day this week. I do want to get going on it before they actually move in. I want it to be done. And I have to do like a little prep work first to kind of cut away some of the weeds and the ivy and the stuff like that. So might work on that tomorrow. Okay, so this is going to be the official before photo. What the fence looks like now. My old section of fence, the new section of fence, the two different colors, the beat up section versus the new section. Both are getting stained. We will see what happens. I don't know what to do about this mess over here with all this ivy. I'm going to try to cut some of it away, but I think I'm just going to paint over it as much as I can. Okay, here we are. I have been at this for under a half hour now. And here's what I'm realizing. So first of all, it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. It is hot out. I should probably not be doing this right now at this time of day. Had to put my hat on. I have to protect my face from the sun. I'm sweating in my bra. I think that later in the afternoon is going to be a better time to do this. It's just too hot right now. And that's number one. Number two is this is going to take me a lot longer than I thought. I thought I would have it done in one day, maybe this weekend. I don't think I'm going to have it done in one day. I'll have one coat done this weekend, but I'm not going to have the whole thing done this weekend. I do love this color, by the way. They're not as identical as I thought. I don't know why I thought. It's semi-transparent, so I don't know why I thought it would be. This is brand new, so this will weather over time, you know, as fences do. This is probably like 20 plus years old, so it has had a lot of weathering. So I think they'll get closer to the same color like year after year. I do love this color though. It matches really well, I think, with that side of the fence. And I think this is going to look great when it's done. This is a lot of work. And I'm questioning also my choice to use this pole and sponge pad attachment. I might actually go back to the hardware store and get like a real brush. The new section is much easier to paint, obviously, than the old section because it's like it's smoother. The old one is like, you know, splintery, falling apart, nails sticking out. The new section, it just, you know, paints right down and glides right down, which is great. So this is good. This is hard work, but it's okay. I think I'm just going to come back out here like later this afternoon, like around 3 or 4 o'clock when the sun is not so strong. I think this is just too difficult to do in the sun. Yeah, this is like a good 4 hours worth of work. So, but I'm totally loving how it's coming out so far. And I did pick that Cape Cod gray color. That's what I ended up going with. It's a semi-transparent, and I think this is going to look awesome when it's finished. You're supposed to do 2 coats, like so. Right now, this is 1 coat. This is, like I said, literally just 30 minutes of me just scratching the surface on this project. So much more to come. I've been doing home projects like this by myself for a long time, and it's like everything else, learn as you go. Might go back to the hardware store, look for some other type of different brush, just at least for touching up. It's kind of hard to get to the bottom especially on the old section of fence, the wood is just so splintered and falling apart, and might be easier to go in with one of those just large brushes. So this is going to look really awesome when I'm done. My other concern is when my neighbor painted on his side, some of the redwood stain that he used dripped over onto my side, and I'm afraid that my stain is now dripping over onto their side. Hopefully it's not. I might take a peek over there later on and just see if it is or isn't. I hope it's not. I mean, I guess that's the risk I took when I decided to do a different color stain, right? Hello, time for a fence update. So a lot of progress has taken place since the last time I checked in. I will show the fence. Here's where we are. So I got one coat done on everything. This is the new section of fence, this is the old section of fence. And I used up my entire gallon of stain that I had purchased, so even if I wanted to do more, I couldn't do more anyway because I ran out. I'm going to have to go back and get another gallon for the second coat. You're supposed to do 2 coats. So this is 1 coat on everything. Now, I don't know why I thought staining this was going to make them look similar. Obviously, this is brand new fence. It's been up for less than a month. And this is fence that was put up before Y2K happened. So they're not going to look the same. This is just semi-transparent. Even if I was painting this with the most thickest opaque paint ever, there's no hiding the fact that this fence is so old and so beat up. It is in rough shape. Literally, the brush I was using with the softest bristles of the brush were making the wood fall apart and fall off. It is just... So some people may be wondering, well, why didn't we just replace the whole thing? Okay, so I'll get into that. So from when I checked in the other day, I did finish that whole side that day once it was later in the afternoon and it wasn't quite so hot out. And then my plan was to finish the entire first coat over the weekend, but the problem was that it started raining. So it basically rained the entire weekend, and that set me back a little bit. I had in mind, like, oh, Saturday I'm going to do X amount, and then Sunday I'm going to do X amount, and then it ended up raining. So anyway, I didn't get to it when I wanted to. It is 1 coat complete now. So I have to do the second coat. I have to go back and get another gallon of paint. I'm not in any hurry to do that. There's really like no time issue now that I have the first coat up. I can take... It's going to rain all week too. That's the other thing. I looked at the forecast, so I don't even know when I'm going to be able to finish this, but I'll finish it when I finish it. Those people are closing in a couple weeks, maybe a week and a half, and then they're going to be moved in. My plan was I wanted to have this done before they move in. So why didn't I just replace the entire fence? Why did we only do half of it? So this fence has been falling apart for a long time, like I said, and I have known that I've needed to replace it for many years. It is technically my fence, although I know it's facing the wrong way. But it was supposedly, we don't really know, right? It was here before I moved in. They don't know, but whatever. During the pandemic, I had quoted it with a couple of fence contractors in places that I had called and said, hey, I'd like to get a new fence. And I had people come out to the house and everything, go so far as to quote me, write me up an actual invoice, and then be no-shows and never come and actually do it. And I was like, I had all like the pandemic money and all this stuff, and I was like sitting around doing nothing for literally 2 summers in a row. Like, I would like to pay you to build a fence for me, but nobody wanted to do it. You know, it's a short section, okay? So like a lot of these fence contractors, like they want to do your whole yard. I'm not doing the other 2 sides. Those people replaced their fence and got like the plastic, whatever that is, vinyl material. I only need to do this. So when you quote it, somebody's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, this is a small job, maybe it's not worth their time. I couldn't get anybody to do it. Then, like I said, when they were listing their house on the market, they were kind of like, all right, we really need to do something about this fence. We can't sell our house with this fence like this. So they just went ahead and did it. Now, I said to them, I'll go in on it with you. they were like, no, so whatever. That is why I did not replace the whole fence. Now, I could still replace this if I wanted to, but I think if I had a hard time getting somebody to come for whatever this is, I don't know, 8, 10 panels, there's no way I'm going to get somebody to come for 4 panels, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But at least having it stained, it will be a little bit better. I mean, it won't be quite so horrible. I did think in my mind I was hoping they were going to be closer to the same color. They're not. But we'll see what it looks like with a second coat. Who knows? A second coat can make a difference. I don't think they're going to look identical. I just want it to look nice. And I do love this color that I chose. I know I said that before, but I absolutely love it. I think it matches so well with the fence on the other 2 sides of my yard. It's in my mind exactly what I imagined. So I'm just going to go over like the equipment I used and how I actually did this. It's been raining for 2 days, so like everything out here is soaked right now. And I had to put a towel on my chair just so I didn't get my butt wet. So I used, like I said, a semi-transparent outside stain from Home Depot brand was Bear. I used the Bear brand. And I got a 5-foot pole attachment, which this is still dripping, which I used this on. So you buy this and then you just screw it on, and I use this pad attachment. So when you're going to buy this, there's an inside one, obviously that's like a soft sponge, and then there's the outside one, which is more like this kitchen pots and pans type sponge, and this is more appropriate obviously for fence. It's a little rougher. Now this is the first one I used, and it kind of got beat up. The older part of the fence was just so beat up and scraggly, it literally shredded up this sponge. These just slide right off. You buy a replacement one, pop it on the thing, and then I was able to continue on. When I first started doing it, I was using this only, and it was taking me a really long time. So then I realized this would be easier if I could get a brush. So then I ended up going back to the hardware store and I got this brush, which is like, you know, an outside fence wide brush to use, and I used them in combination. So I took the pole with that pad attachment and just kind of splooshed on the stain and just, you know, kind of splotched it on a little bit, and then I went back in with the brush and just kind of refined it, and I could get in the little cracks and stuff in between. You know, they're flat panels, but they're not totally flat. They do bevel in a little bit at the seams, so I could use the brush to go back and just kind of like quickly take the splooshes of stain and just smooth them all down. And once I started doing that method where I was using the combination of the pad and the brush, it went a lot faster. I was able to just, you know, go right down the road. The new section of fence was super easy to do because it was perfect, new, and smooth. The old section of the fence was a lot harder. I also have ivy growing over there. So a couple days ago I had gone out and tried to cut away some of the ivy and remove it. That's really hard to do. I don't think I'm going to be able to remove all the ivy, and I just didn't want to even get into it, and having like a lot of lawn bag waste right now. So the whole section of the fence that's underneath the ivy is not going to be stained, which I don't think is going to be an issue because the ivy will always be there. The other thing was the combination of doing the pole and the brush was a lot easier for me for my arm. I have lymphedema, and these type of activities and like this type of motion is not good for my arm. It's actually like something I should be avoiding and not doing. That type of putting any kind of strain like that on my arm can make my lymphedema worse. So this way I was able to not, I could use my right arm a lot, you know, instead of putting a ton of strain on my left arm. So I might actually do a video on lymphedema and just kind of explain and go over what it is and why I'm always wearing this sleeve. I don't know if my viewers would be interested in hearing that. By the way, thank you to new subscribers and people that are watching my videos and subscribing. It's awesome to see. I'm really happy that you're here, especially if you've made it this far in the video. Hello. I'd love to hear a comment. Say hi. I want to get to know the people that are watching my videos. So, and if you're not subscribed, please do. I am a 51-year-old single mom woman. I'm going to be doing vlogs about my life and what I do with my time. I've been thinking about doing a YouTube channel for years, like a really long time, until I just finally decided, hey, I'm just going to start doing this. A couple of years ago, I actually went through cancer, and I was going to do videos about like what it's like to deal with cancer and blah, blah, blah. And then I decided that's really not the content that I want my channel to be about. Right now, I'm kind of going through a new phase of life. I'm going into a different phase of life. My kids are getting older. I'm going to be an empty nester in a couple of years, and I thought it would be kind of fun to do vlogs and document what my life is doing at this stage in my life. You know, when you're a mom of little kids, for me anyway, my whole identity was just wrapped up in my kids and like being a mom and taking them to the track meet and taking them to basketball games and joining PTA and everything I did. And then my daughter got a job and I was driving her to her job, and then she got a car and started driving by herself, and now she's in college and my other one is in high school. And I just realized that like my life is going into a different season and a different direction, and I don't really know what that direction is. It's kind of fun and exciting to think about, like all the possibilities of what it could be. So I'm doing this as a way to kind of document that and chronicle where my life is going to go over the next few years. And so we'll go down here and just take one more look at it. There it is. Nice, see? Good. I like it. See what I mean about how it matches that? Not this. This. Not you. The awful part of the fence. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please like, please leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.